Barbara, it is so great to see you. First of all, I'm a big fan of Shark Tank, and actually, California Live is a big fan of two of the people that you work with on a daily basis, Jim and Sabin with Cousins Maine Lobster. We've had them on the show numerous of times, and of course,
Oh,
we just love their food. So you're doing great work with them, and I'm
thank
sure
you.
we
They're
are.
doing even bigger work than they did before the pandemic.
Yes, I know this is such crazy times, and I know we're all aware that you've had some incredible success stories with starting businesses on and off Shark Tank, and it's also no secret that we are all going through some very turbulent waters with this pandemic. So you're starting a series of
Mm,
webinars called Business Unusual that will ultimately help businesses during these times, right?
absolutely. We're hoping to have practical solutions for real life challenges that every business owner in America is going through right now.
So let me start off with asking you this. What is the basic foundation you need to survive this pandemic if you have a business?
You need to be insecure enough to reach out as a business owner and try to think of what's a new solution for the same old problem, right? The toughest times are the times when people don't get honest with themselves. They think business will return to what it used to be. The customers will come back if only I could wait it out. If only I could stretch my dollar, I'm going to be fine once this thing is over. But the reality is, it's not that way at all when you're in business. You get an opportunity to struggle with something, and how you deal with that determines whether you get to stay in business. And most people in America right now are either out of business, about to say they are out of business if they own a small business, or have no idea how they're going to get to second base once this pandemic is over.
So let me ask you, when do you know? When do you know to keep treading waters or just throw in the towel and stop investing? I mean, at what point do you tell a business owner, okay, this is it, we cannot keep investing because it's not going to come back to us?
I think the moment as a business owner you don't have your enthusiasm for more than a day, where you're not hungry to reinvent, where you're not working 150% to try to stay afloat and to push your business forward, where you're not in love with your employees anymore and thinking they're the greatest thing, I can really accomplish anything with this group of people. When you start losing your confidence in yourself and your team, is usually the time where you shouldn't spend another nickel on your business. Because what's interesting about all small businesses is it's nothing more than an extension of the entrepreneur themselves. If the entrepreneur's head's in the right place, if they're wildly enthusiastic, the whole world listens and comes along for the ride. If you don't have that as the leader of your team, nothing really happens. You just stretch out your money until you run out of money. The reason I feel that this webinar series is so timely, sponsored by AT&T, is because people really need that help to turn it around fast right now. And when we're able to talk directly with an entrepreneur who owns a business who's struggling, I have the street smarts to know how to get through bad times, and AT&T has the technology smarts to determine what's really needed today, because everything's changed there, as we all know. So together, I think we can really send people home with a practical solution, a real solid business plan to get on their game again and stay in business. I have no doubt about that. And that's why I'm so excited about this particular series, because I think it's really well needed.
I agree with you. I think it really is needed. Let's say I had a bar or a restaurant or, a gym right now that are just being closed down. What do you say to them? What would you say to me if I had this and I didn't know where to go? Do I reinvent myself? Do I reinvent, the business model, or do I just kind of say, you know what, this is not going to sustain itself?
Well, I would start by asking you, how much do you want to stay in business? And if you really don't want to stay in business, I wouldn't spend any time. And I'd say, well, my advice to you is close up. But if I feel a burning desire that you want to stay in business, then anything is possible. You can move mountains. You come up with 10 ideas, try all 10, two will work and stick, and that's good enough. That's what business is. It's not like sharpshooting. It's about buckshot. Let's put enough out there and see what works. So I would first take the temperature in your posed question. How
Hmm.
much do you want to stay in business? What do you aspire to? What do you dream about? That answers most of my query. And then after that, I'd ask you, what's your biggest problem?
Well, thank you so much, Barbara. And for all of you out there that have these questions or want to learn more, you can always catch her webinar that's starting today. So thank you so much, Barbara.